Hey, welcome back. So I got a 2024 Toyota RAV4 here, and it's in for a 10H ceramic coating by Adams. I'm gonna show you how I install a ceramic coating, and if you're interested in that, check this video out. So here's all the tools and products that I use to do a professional ceramic coating. It looks like a lot. It's overkill. You can probably get away with less. It's a bit much, but you can definitely get away with a lot less. I got a lot of polishers there. I'll probably only use one or two. I'll just fire off with the products real quick here. So when I do my exterior wash, I use this product here as my all-purpose cleaner. It's 3D Super Citrus APC Nano Drum, and this 1 gallon here makes 28 to 40 gallons of final product here, so it goes a long ways, which I really like with this. And I use this on everything and it works amazing. Super citrus, it's got that citrus in it and makes it clean really well. I use it in my 2 foam cannons here, and I use it in one of my hand sprayers, and I also use the Super Citrus APC in my IKe foam sprayer. And then I'm also trying out this one here product. It's a Super Degreaser, same 3D nano drum and the same dilution ratio. This can, if you want it really strong, you can make 28 gallons of final product or 46 gallons of final product, or maybe it's 45 gallons of final product. And I use this in just a pump sprayer. I'll spray this on the rims, the tires, and the engine. I'll spray this on the entire vehicle, the rims, the tires, the engine, the paint, the glass, everything. And then I have an iron remover here. I have 3 kinds of iron removers in the shop. It doesn't really matter which one. I've got Brite, I've got Gyeon, and I have Adams, and they all seem to be pretty good. Maybe this Gyeon one's the best, probably the most expensive, and this Brite one here is the worst. It's the least expensive, but it goes the longest, and it does basically just as good of a job, and I really like it. I got it in this spray bottle here. It's really thick, and it makes it last forever, and it works good enough. I just use this in combination with a clay bar, and works great to pull out the iron particles and contaminants in the clear coat. And I'll just talk about the clay really quick here. I got a little piece of clay. It's brand new clay. I'm going to be using a clay bar, not a clay mitt or clay towel or anything else, since this is a pretty new car here and the person's paying for the quality job here. I'm going to use the clay bar. It's just a little bit more quality than using a clay mitt or something else. And I'll just give this car a quick wipe with the clay bar, brand new piece of clay bar. This is Meguiar's white, and it's really good if you can find it. And I don't think this car really needs it, but I've got a medium duty wheel acid here, and I'll probably use it on this car. It doesn't really need it, but I'll just give it like the quickest little splash of acid on the wheels just to clean them super easily, so I don't really have to scrub them, and just, you know, kind of as a maintenance thing, maybe once a year type of cleaning on there. And then obviously if you use an acid like this, you have to neutralize it right away. So you spray this acid on, then you spray on an alkaline, and then you spray it all off with water in combination. So what I would do with this acid myself is I would spray this acid on the wheels, let it sit for a very short period of time, 30 seconds max, and then I would come by, neutralize it with a high alkaline cleaner like this, high alkaline product. Doesn't have to be a cleaner, just high alkaline. And then I would spray both of them off with my turbo nozzle on the pressure washer. When I do this vehicle here, I'm going to be doing a restoration on the exterior trim, and for that I'm going to be using this product here. It's basically my favorite for trim. It's Cerakote Ceramic Trim Coat Wipes, and you can just buy a box here of 50 of them and then have them on the go. I don't know how many of this vehicle here is going to use. I'm going to say it's probably going to use up 5 to 10 packs. It looks like it has a lot of trim. And I've got all my polishers here that I use to do very high quality polishing, and I'll probably only be using 2, actually 3. I'll be using this dual action, I'll probably be using this forced action, and then I'll be using this one right here, this Groups dual action, and then probably this one too because it's battery. I'll just grab it quick for tight areas or something like that. And this one here, this forced action, it's flexed. And then the polish I'll be using on this vehicle here, it's DIY Detail Gold Standard. I really like it. This polish has been awesome. I've been testing out lots of different polishes, and still this is my favorite here. It's just so easy to use. It lasts forever, and it's just a great one. Highly recommend it. And then the pads here that I've got Lake Country pads, blue, couple different sizes, and soft. I'll probably be using these blue ones here. They are well used, but they still have some life in them still, so they're not like brand new pads, but they're getting there. And then I've got this pad washing bucket here. It's awesome, saves me a lot of time. So here's the vehicle here. It's pretty nice. There's basically nothing wrong with it. There might be like the odd tiny little scratch I think the owner pointed out somewhere, but it's basically nothing, and I'll be able to get it out super easy with my polisher. This vehicle's in really good condition, so I'm just going to be washing it very thoroughly and doing the paint prep. And that's going to be, I already washed it once outside. I pressure washed it, the wheel wells and the rims and the tires and all over the exterior, just to get rid of any grit really quickly. And now I'm going to be doing a contact wash inside here. I'll be foaming it down with APC, agitating with my microfiber, and then doing the iron remover and clay bar. I'll go around the vehicle and I'll soak everything with degreaser. Anyway, I'm just gonna get straight into this thing here. I didn't talk about the ceramic coating neither. I guess that'd be a good place to start. So the ceramic coating I'm using on this is Adams Graphene Ceramic Coating Advanced. This is a 10H. They say it lasts 9 years. I'm gonna say 4 tops with a proper application. But yeah, I like this one so far. It's really good. And super easy to apply to. You can apply this to like half a vehicle and come back and wipe it all off and have no high spots. Alright, so it's gonna be interesting. I got all this stuff set up here. I don't really like it. Alright, so there's a bunch of stuff here. The first thing that I like to do is just walk around and degrease this entire vehicle. And I'll show you what I mean. And you definitely need a mask like this, or else you get choked out. All right, and I like to double fist like this for just speed and overlap. Can't forget to get the gas pump. And then I like to use the all-purpose foam here just to keep everything all hydrated. Turn that off. Oh, I think I usually go and hit these tires a little bit too. Get the different chemicals in here to break the stuff down. You can see it's coming off orange there, which means it's doing something. These tires were bad too. I'll foam the whole thing down. I don't usually have all my stuff here, so it's a little funky. It's kind of cool though. It's kind of cool. Yo, so I'm gonna do some narrating over these parts just to keep it a little bit more interesting and so that you watch the video through. And I'm foaming on all-purpose cleaner here, so high alkaline cleaner. You don't click off, I get that watch time and YouTube is happy about it. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so I got this APC here that I have in my foam cannon. It's the 3D Super Citrus APC, and I have it diluted 28:1 inside the foam cannon. And I've been really happy with using that as my exterior snow foam. I've been using it pretty much all of the time now. I don't use the pH neutral snow foam anymore. I mean, I would. It really depends on the vehicle and how clean the vehicle is, and the vehicles that I get are kind of dirty, so, or I need the power. Floor mat's dry over here, so good thing I'm only doing one floor mat. Now I'll just come back and rinse these rims off and the wheel wells really well, and then I'll hit them with acid. As you can see, for the wheel wells here, I switched to the turbo nozzle or the rotary nozzle on the pressure washer. It does a really amazing job. It is incredible at cleaning carpet wheel liners, wheel well liners, carpet wheel well liners. It's incredible. These rotary tips are a game changer for wheel wells, tires, and rims because they clean out the carpet wheel wells so well. They make them look like brand new. It's absolutely amazing. And then since this thing is spinning in a circle like this, you don't get very much kickback into your face and all that. I don't like the kickback, but it does kick back a little bit, but not as much as a, you know, like a 45 or a 15, especially a 15. Holy, it's just pouring outside right now. That's kind of cool. All right, I'll show you how to use the acid. Nice, I like that. Look at that. It doesn't rain here, it's a desert. But when it does rain, it floods a little bit. But it still barely even rains here. All right, and I switch to this one here when I do the wheel wells. It's got a turbo nozzle and a foam cannon on it, and it's actually pretty good. And you switch between the two like this, and it works really well actually. I had this thing for a year before I started using it, because at first I didn't like it, but now that I have a real purpose for this, I like it. And in here I have wheel acid, and my pump sprayer is all busted too, so if it looks like this is kind of like a junky application, it's because this pump sprayer is busted at the tip here or at the lever. It doesn't stop spraying, so I have to open the bottle up. Anyway, I've got acid here. I'm going to spray it in the wheel wells. I'm going to spray it on the rims and the tires, and I'm going to do 2 at a time. And then after I spray this on 2 rims and 2 tires, I'm going to come and neutralize it with my high alkaline foam there. And you gotta use your face mask. So pretty straightforward here. I'm just doing the exterior hand wash. I'm using my microfiber wash mitts. They're the green chemical guys wash mitts. I really like them. They seem to do just fine. They're fairly good quality, and I'm switching it up on this wash. I'm using the wash mitts this time because the vehicle's so nice. Mostly I use the brushes. You might not believe it, but those brushes are actually incredibly soft and they almost never scratch anything. Like everything scratches the paint, and those brushes, if you use the right technique, they're actually pretty good. And for the most part, on an average vehicle, they're just fine if you rinse them out properly. I find that those brushes are basically as soft as the microfiber wash mitt. But this vehicle here, it was like crazy nice. Almost no scratches on the vehicle. So I didn't use the brushes. I decided to use the wash mitt just to play it a little extra safe. And even though I am doing a polish, so even anything that the brushes would have put in, the polish would have taken them out. But anyway, yeah. I'm kind of all over the place on this wash because I'm filming and these wash mitts are throwing me off. Since I don't usually use the wash mitts, I usually use the brushes. The big brushes I'm talking about on the sticks. Yeah, my technique's a little bit off. Normally I do, one tool at a time on the exterior wash. So if I use the wash mitts, I'll go around and wash mitt the entire vehicle. I won't switch to the brushes back and forth. I'll just wash mitt the entire vehicle, and then I'll switch to the brushes and I'll brush the entire vehicle, getting all the cracks and crevices. And on this wash here, I was, it was weird. I was all over the place. As you can see, sometimes I'll be using the wash mitts and sometimes I'll be using the brushes. I kind of just went, area by area on this vehicle and brought each area to 100%. And I don't usually do that. Usually if I have a tool in my hand, I'll just use that entire tool until I'm done everything with that entire tool, and then I'll put that tool away and then not have to use that tool again. I'll just move on to the next tool. Either that's a wash mitt or a brush or whatever. But I got some new brush there, a small brush, a handheld detailing brush. I got a new one there. It seems to be kind of fancy, kind of quality, a little bit, you know, higher quality, not just some Amazon brush. It's a, you know, I got it off my supplier, my detailing supplier, and it was fairly cheap too. So we'll see. I just got it the other day, so I'm kind of excited using that handheld brush, the bigger one with the wooden handle. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm hoping that the bristles of that brush last quite a while, because the ones that you get from Amazon, I noticed it really depends on which company you get them from. You know, all the companies are from overseas, so it's whatever, but some are just noticeably better than others. I've had some that were really good and some that just, they get all messed up within, you know, 1 to 2 weeks of using the brush, and it's like, that's just not going to cut it. It's going to last a little bit longer than that. Alright, it looks like I finished my exterior wash mitt and brushing, and then I just come back and I pressure wash the entire vehicle down, get all the soap and the dirt off of the vehicle, and I'm using the white tip there. It's the 45 degree. I really like the white tip. It gives me a large coverage area, and it just puts down so much water. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. I don't really like using the yellow, the 15. I see a lot of other detailers on YouTube, they use that yellow or the 15, and I don't know, that one just doesn't cut it for me. It's just too narrow, and it hits pretty hard, but that's not even the point. I don't really even care. I just care about how wide the fan is, and it feels like it doesn't use very much water because it's so narrow. The white one uses a lot more water, and if you have a big pressure washer like I do, then you're going to be able to clean a lot faster, and you know, that white tip is going to do a lot of work.
All right, so I can't really say anything because I always got this vacuum going right here and it's super loud. So I'm going to be doing some iron remover. Maybe I'll use this one on this side and this one on this side. It's not really going to make a difference. This one here is better. This one here is more cost effective. They both do the same job. I think I'd rather spend my money on this one. And then I'm gonna spray the iron remover. I'm gonna clay at the same time. And I'm gonna work my way from the top down, driver's side, around to passenger side. And this stuff smells really bad, so definitely be using a respirator.
Okay, so here I am applying the iron remover, and I'm using the clay bar at the same time. I'm playing around with this. I think it works pretty good. There are some cons and there are some pros to this technique.
It stinks. It looks like it's doing a really good job already. Taking some gunk out of there. I really don't want to get this stuff on my clothes. It's gross. And it seems to work pretty good with this clay. It doesn't wreck the clay in any way. And the two work really good together, that's for sure.
But I'll just go off by saying that the iron remover that I'm using here right now, it's Brite iron remover, and that is from my detailing supplier. I think it's not really, you know, a popular brand, but I think they are too.
Pretty good so far, pretty good. The spot that I'm doing right now, the upper areas, definitely the least affected by iron particles. And right now I'm wishing I had my mask on. Smells so bad.
Actual companies, they're not popular, you know, in the retail space, but they are popular in the commercial space. because you really won't hear about that company Brite because they drive around and they have a mobile shop on wheels, and basically they pull up to your shop with all their products and you just buy from their van whatever you want, and it's kind of cool, but it's a little bit different. I haven't really fully immersed myself in that brand yet, Brite, because I have products that I do like, but I am trying out some of their products here and there to support that company and the guy that drives around personally to my shop. It is pretty nice service having it dropped off to you, but I'm not going to say that I really like all of their products just yet. That iron remover though, I think the iron remover is legit. It's straight fire. I was talking about it earlier in the video, and I don't think I really did it any justice I didn't really upsell it. I was kind of downselling it, but I'm just going to upsell it right now. That Brite iron remover, it's straight up fire. I would say it's better than the Gyeon one, and it's better than the Adams one that I also use. I'm not saying that it works better, but the price point is so much better, and it's super thick. It's gooey, and I think that has to do with why it lasts so long, because when you spray it out of your spray bottle, it doesn't really spray like a mist. It just shoots out a couple globs, and then you kind of got to work it around. But once you use it for a while, you've used it on a few vehicles, you'll look at the bottle and be like, wow, I barely used anything, because it came out like a glob, and then you smear it around with your clay bar, and it works really good, and it works okay. So yeah, I'm using a clay bar here, and basically the idea behind what I'm doing right now is I'm using iron remover as my clay lube, and it works okay. It works pretty good, but after a while, the iron remover, it does damage the clay bar. It, eats away at the clay bar, and then, if you're not too quick, or you try and use a whole piece of clay to last the entire vehicle, then the clay bar is gonna start to crumble, which it shouldn't, but the iron remover chemical is making it crumble. That's what I noticed. But other than that combo of claying and using iron remover in the same step, it has been working really good for me. And I really didn't like using an iron remover for a very long time because it smells horrible. I hate the smell. I hate the smell of iron remover. It smells like heavy sulfur, like feces, like somebody just took a dump at the shop, basically, but not really. It smells a little bit different, but it's gross like that, and it's pungent, and I don't like getting that smell on me or breathing it in. And I wear a 3M respirator, so it's okay. I was against using it for the longest time, and then a vehicle rolled up into the shop that it was just crazy rust. A white vehicle. It was rusted all over. I couldn't believe it. And I didn't even want to try and use the clay bar because there was just too much, or clay mitt. It would have taken forever. But I used an iron remover. It was Adams iron remover, and it just melted all of this surface rust off of this white vehicle. I couldn't believe. I've never seen anything like it. It was pretty rare, honestly. But it did an amazing job. And after I had that experience with an iron remover product, I wish I had some pictures to throw up so that you understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, after seeing how well it worked in that situation, I'm a believer now. I try not to use it though because it's expensive and it smells really bad, but if someone's coming in and dropping money, I'm definitely going to be using it to give them the highest level experience possible. I just finished washing this entire vehicle. It's all ready to go for the ceramic coating. I'm just gonna dry it off. I'm gonna use my air compressor here to dry this thing off, and I'm gonna use my leaf blower. The leaf blower is pretty loud. So pretty straightforward here. I'm using a leaf blower and I'm using compressed air at the same time to clean out the engine bay, and I really like using both of these at the same time because the leaf blower is like really good volume, and then the compressed air has like really good pinpoint accuracy and can really knock air out of the tiny little cracks, where the leaf blower does a good job, but the two working together just work even better if you can. It's not always worth it to pull both of these tools out at the same time, but once in a while I try to. And I have this corded leaf blower here, and it absolutely drives me nuts. I hate using the cord. It bothers me so much, but at the same time, that corded leaf blower, it was so cheap. It was like, alright, so that corded leaf blower there was like $75 Canadian, $40 American, somewhere in that range. I hate it so much. The cord drives me nuts, and it's such a bear to pull out and use. But I was looking at the CFM on this thing, and the CFM on the battery models, like even the really expensive leaf blowers, and the CFM on this corded leaf blower is insanely high. Like I think it's higher than most of the really expensive leaf blowers, like the leaf blowers that are in the $600, $700 range. The corded one, it blows harder, and yeah. So I don't really know if I really want to switch to a battery powered one, because the corded one, it barely blows hard enough for me. I need something to like really hammer hard, and if I'm going to spend $700 on a leaf blower, it better perform. But yeah, I'll just have to try. Maybe the CFM is overrated on the cheap corded one that I have, but it does blow actually pretty hard. It blows really hard.
All right, nice. This thing is all ready for the polish, basically. I need to tape the trim up though. 100% taping the trim up on this one. Look at these tires. They look weird. I did not touch these tires at all with any kind of brush. I don't know how I feel about that, but they're gonna look good. In the end, they're gonna get dressed. Someone just called me for a polish on a black Jetta. Basically what I'm doing to this vehicle here, and I told them 1,100, and they said no way, 300, and this is Canadian dollars, of course, too. So 1,100 is not very much. Keep that in mind, right? Canadian. But anyway, yeah, they said 300. I said, there's no way, man. It's gonna take me 12 hours for a black Jetta, all scratched up. 3-step, and then, you know, doing all the bells and whistles, you know, polish the glass, the headlights, the tail lights, protect ceramic coat, a 2-year trim restoration, $1,100. And that's for a 3-step. Okay, so I guess I'll get this trim here all dressed up. Oh, this is gonna hurt my back. Now, I kind of don't really need to be taping this up, since I'm only doing a 1-step on this vehicle, and I'm also going to be doing a trim restoration, and it will repair any damage to the trim. But this customer is paying what I would say almost top dollar for this service, so we're going to go the extra mile in every spot that we can, and then it just protects me as well that much farther if I touch the polisher to the trim. And also that Adams, the DIY Detail Gold Standard polish that I use, it does mess with some trims a little bit. Not super bad like a true cutting compound, but this tape isn't going on super nice. It's kind of rough. It's not my finest masking. This edge here is not very nice. There we go. It's a bit better. I've been using the Gyeon ceramic tire dressing on whenever I do a ceramic coating for somebody or just a high level polish. And honestly, I have not been liking that tire dressing. It's good, but the everyday tire dressing that I use is just it looks so much better. I don't know if it lasts this long, but it looks so much better on day one. But the Gyeon might look a lot better, on day 20.
Alright, so there's nothing too exciting here. I'm just taping up the exterior trim. So, it's so boring to watch. Maybe I think I might even cut this out, but I might not. When someone comes in and drops their vehicle off and they spend a lot of money on the services and they pay me, what I'm asking for, and I get all of that and I'm happy, I'm going to do the absolute best that I can. And even though I'm just doing a light, quick polish on this vehicle, where some people, they are probably not even going to use masking tape on the trim because it's just a 1-step quick polish. The polish shouldn't damage the trim. I'm going to put the tape on there anyway, just so that, I can give the highest professional service to the customer, and the polish isn't going to damage the trim in any way, because you never know.
I don't have my safety shades here. I wear these busted things. They're not bad. I like them ironically, but they're busted right here. All right, it's time to get the polishing done. I'm gonna have my rotary set up so that I can spin pads out.
I'm not going to be using the Rotary for any type of polishing on this one here because there's absolutely no need. We're just going to be doing a one step. The paint on this vehicle is so nice, just doing a one step so that we can put the ceramic coating down. I can be very confident that the ceramic coating got good adhesion. And there's a lot of shine on the vehicle right before the ceramic coating goes on. Pads are all clean, but I'm just gonna give them a quick clean right now so I know that there isn't a piece of sand. Okay, I think I'm gonna use the Beast first. Up on the roof there, really quick. I chopped all the cords from my polishers too, so I just have this one extension cord, except for I haven't done it to the Beast yet. Well, just whatever, CBF. Yeah, so now each polisher here, I just use it on this one extension cord, and I just have one cord around the vehicle. I don't have, you know, 4 cords with 4 polishers with 4 extension cords going crisscrossing, going all over the vehicle. I didn't like that, so now I just got this one extension cord. And we got the Beast here. DIY detailed gold standard polish. I'm probably gonna need some stuff over here, and I'll probably be using all these polishers here. This one on the hood, this one on the sides, this one on the bumpers and tight areas. I'd use this one on the hood, but as you guys know, this thing likes to fling pads. This backing plate, the hook and loop system isn't very good on here. You gotta buy a new backing plate every 3 vehicles you do, or else it just flings pads. It doesn't grip pads very well anymore. And that can be, you know, some people might say maybe that's part of my error as a user, because maybe I'm pushing a bit too hard when I'm polishing and the heat is melting these hooks. But that doesn't happen on any of these other polishers with any other backing plate that you know you buy from whatever country. If I feel like pushing while I'm polishing, I'm gonna push. So I forgot to mention this tool here that I'm using. It's a forced action, which means that it does not stall out. As you can see, you can hold it and it won't stop turning. This machine here is like a cross between the Rotary and a dual action. This one here that just, you know, it can freeze spin. Not too sure if I like these free spinning machines anymore, these DAs. I think I might be all about the forced action now, even for finishing. I'm not too sure about finishing though with these forced actions, so I'm gonna have to do it on a few vehicles to see whether I like it or not. Whoops, kind of feels like I'm all over the place right now with this polishing, but it'll make more sense when I get away from this upper area here. Feels like I'm all over the place right now and just working on things in little chunks here and there, which I don't really like. Hopefully I can get in the groove of things here. It's just kind of weird, I think, with doing the roof, the ceiling, and the windshield at the same time. This is what I'm using to remove the polish. So a sploosh of isopropanol in here. This already had some in it, so I just gave it like a little sploosh of iso, like about this much, and then I just put water in here. All right, I'm gonna try the DA on this one for fun. See if it works any better than the FA.
I don't think there's going to be any difference. Paint protection film here too, so I want to go easy on this, but this should be perfectly.
So here I am using the Flex dual action random orbital polisher, and it's okay. It's a pretty nice machine. It's a 5-inch, so it's a little bit smaller than the 6-inch that you can get from Roops, which is kind of upsets me, but you know, it's quality polisher. It's got that good backing plate that doesn't fling pads, so it's got that working for it.
That's pretty quick. Just a quick 1-step on there. It's been a while. I'm usually doing a long 3-step. I forgot to do a little bit of taping here. This was not a fun piece to tape. This one here. This is a bad taping job. I've lost the energy to tape since I kind of just want to, do the polish. Not worry about this.
I don't know the model number of that machine, this machine, but the nickname for this machine is called the Finisher.
Oh yeah, that looks better for sure, for sure. This is all scratched up. It's still like a little tiny bit scratched, but that's so much better already. I gotta try the Beast. Oh, the Beast is hot. I'm gonna use the Roops.
And it's the, I think it's a 15mm throw dual action 5-inch backing plate. And it works okay. Works okay. If I were to compare it to the Roops, the number one downside would be that the Roops has a larger backing plate, and the Roops it runs much smoother. Here I am using the Roops right now, the 6-inch. The motor of this machine and the rotating head, it's so smooth, it's so nice. It doesn't hurt your hand, it doesn't vibrate, and that stuff, it kind of matters, you know. I don't like to complain about stuff normally, and like, you know, if the tools run a little rough, you know, that's just what it is, and just, you know, man up and get the job done. But honestly, since I have both machines, I don't even really like using the Flex, because the Roops, it runs so smooth.
Looks pretty good. I can't tell how it looks because it's gray. I just honestly can't see anything. I haven't brought my big light out, but yeah, it was pretty good before. I mean, it had the usual type of scratches in there. I can see little defects in here though. Where on the other side where I just polished, there's like no defects. But they're so hard to see anyway. Yeah, it looks shinier, for sure. I'm just going to the back side now, do the bumper. I'm gonna do some small stuff on the driver's side still, and then go to the back. Getting a little wild here with the polishers all over the place. This one's cord's too long already. I don't like it. So this one's good for these smaller areas up here. You could do it with the big one, but it's not really ideal.
Okay, moving on to the next polisher here. I got the 3-inch DA Roops, and I think it's a 12mm throw. I love this machine. It's so powerful. It's insanely powerful. When you crank this thing up, it screams, and it does a good job at not stalling out. And the backing plate is like a classic hook and loop backing plate. You know, it really hangs onto the pads, and it doesn't wreck. It doesn't ever lose the pad, fling the pad. And yeah, I really like it. The 3-inch Roops DA.
Oh yeah, this one here is so scratched up. This one's almost perfect, basically, for a foam pad anyway. This foam pad is messed up. Holy.
It's awesome. And it's pretty smooth too. Pretty smooth. Highly recommend it. And I find that it's really great for, you know, doing the side view mirrors. As you see, it's good for doing the upper rails of the body of the vehicle, the upper rail, you know, the A-pillar, C-pillar, A-pillar, B-pillar, C-pillar area, the upper rail of that. I find it's really good for that. Any tight areas, it's also really good for headlights, it's good for taillights, it's good for bumpers. I use the 3-inch on bumpers. I don't use the 6 or the 5-inch on bumpers. You know, it's just so much more effective and less of a headache to use the 3-inch on a bumper.
Holy, this pad is so beat up. That's unbelievable. I've never gotten a pad like this beat up yet. Been using it for a long time. And this machine has so much power, it just rips. The machine's power is destroying this pad.
If you try and use the 5-inch or 6-inch on a bumper, a DA, it's gonna stall out on you. It could work, it depends on the shape of the bumper, but you're gonna end up leaning it up on edge to try and work it into cracks or around curves, and then that DA is gonna stall out on you. And when
I think I'm gonna throw this pad in the garbage. It's amazing. Look at that thing. It was pretty good right before I started too. I look like this one. Still good for a bit.
When a DA stalls out, it basically does nothing. So yeah, you want to avoid stalling out the DA, and the best way to do that on a bumper is just to use a 3-inch.
right, that's enough of this one for a bit. We'll switch to this one here. This one right here.
Don't use the 5-inch, don't use the 6-inch on the bumper unless you can get it in there.
All right, here we go. The backing plate was a little loose. You don't want that thing falling off. I swapped this backing plate out a while ago, and I put the larger, it has a 5-inch backing plate on it right now. I put the 6-inch backing plate, tried it out. It works pretty good. Actually, it works absolutely awful. Don't get it. If you're running it at like a 3 to a 4, it works really good. But as soon as you crank it up to a 6, it just shakes like uncontrollably. Like, I'm not one to complain, but it shakes way too much, honestly. I'm basically always at a 6 with this thing. I'm never at a 3 or a 4, so there's no way. No way I'd use the 6-inch backing plate and then turn this thing down to 3 or 4 just so it can run with not too many vibrations. But yeah, this is meant for a 5-inch backing plate. Don't put the 6 on it. And I think it's pretty funny, in the beginning of this video I said I was only going to use 1 or 2 polishers, and yeah, I ended up using how many? I didn't use the rotary on the car, but I used the rotary too. Alright, so I see like a little scratch in here. And that's about it. Some very fine scratching in there. Clean my pads. I used the Flex the Beast. I used Flex the Finisher. What's it called? The Roops Mark 5 21mm Bigfoot. Something like that. I think that's the name. The 6-inch. Anyway, Roops' 6-inch DA. And then I use Roops' 3-inch DA. And then I use Flex's battery powered 3-inch DA. So the Rotary, the Beast, the Finisher, the 21, the 15mm, and the 12mm, and then plus the Pixie. So I used 7 polishers on this car. In the beginning of the video, I said I was going to use 1 or 2 just to keep it simple, to keep the polishing time down. But in the end, this is a really nice vehicle, and this customer paid me a lot of money for this service. So as with always, when I do business, I always try and do my best for every single customer and go above and beyond, especially when they're paying me like top dollar. Well, it definitely looks a lot shinier. I was pretty skeptical at first because this thing was so shiny and so pristine, but that little bit of polishing I just did there definitely did something. I'm gonna hit the glass quick on the other side. I forgot to do the other side. I was kinda, I don't know if it was forgot or didn't want to, but that happened. I need more of these fibers. I got more actually. Grab a couple grab a 5er for service. I'm gonna do my absolute best, even if it takes a little bit too long and I lose a little bit, or I didn't make the right hourly. If I can do the best work possible for a customer, I will, when they're paying me a lot of money. Those customers that don't want to spend any money and they say get it done, just get it done quick, and okay, then I'll maybe do some sloppy stuff, but I almost never do that, and I never really get those customers anymore, less and less as time goes on, because I don't know, the better customers find you as time goes on if you do really good work. Oh, so here I am, I'm using that battery powered Flex the Pixie on polishing the glass. I really like that Flex the Pixie, but it's got some limitations. You can't. Alright, last little bit here, just this bumper, and the headlights. But I'm going to have to use the 5-inch and a 3-inch here. You can use it for polishing, you can use it for cutting and all that, but it's a weak machine, so I try not to use it, even though it's so convenient. It's basically, it's so convenient, but the lack of power could cause it to take a little bit longer, but that a little bit longer could be also the same amount of time that it takes you to pull out a corded machine and string out an extension cord. So sometimes I really feel like I just want to grab that battery powered machine, but I've been sticking strong to my corded machines, and I've just been stringing out that extension cord and using the powerful machines, and not getting lazy and just trying to use the battery powered machines because they're kind of weak, honestly. Alright, it's time for the ceramic coating. I'm going to wrap up all the polishers and stuff and tidy up a little bit first and get all the paint. Peel the tape off and then clean the paint up a couple times. Make sure all the polishes are removed. Oh, feels so nice. Alright, it's getting there. I took a long break. Fueled up. It's getting late. I gotta finish this thing. There's still a lot to do because of trim. The massive amount of exterior trim pieces on this vehicle. It's gonna take hours. An hour or two to deal with all these trim pieces. basically ready for the ceramic. I'm gonna wipe the trim down now. A little bit different type of wiping. Oh, it feels good. I'll just put a couple drops on here. Not too much. Spread it around. Don't want it to go on too thick. Just work it in like this to the pad here. Get the pad. Ooh, I can smell it. It smells good and strong. Oops, I forgot to go crosshatch on the other side, I think. I like crosshatch. Does me good. I'll do the front here, front bumper. I can't even see it on the hood if it's going rainbow because of the gray. I can't really tell anything. It's probably rainbowed though. A good way to tell if it's dry is you get your nice clean cloth like this, fold it into quarters. You stick it down on here and feel if it's sticky. Oh, I don't even see the coating on here. Oh, okay. Yeah, it feels tacky. Yeah, it feels good. It feels a little sticky. It's grabbed already. I can see it's going rainbow already, which is pretty nice. I like when it goes rainbow fast or it flashes fast instead of taking a while. And I know the product is working. Oh, that wipes off so nice. All it took was one, but I'm doing 3 passes. 3 passes to wipe it off just to make sure I got it all. And then when I've used every single side on this cloth, I just throw it in the garbage since it's contaminated with ceramic coating. It's going to be hydrophobic and you won't be able to clean anything with this. Holy moly. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, time to hit up the ceramic coating on the trim now. Oh, I'll just start here, I guess. Here I am restoring the trim with the Cerakote Trim Restoration Wipes. However you want to say. Cerakote Ceramic Trim Restoration Wipes. I highly recommend these wipes. You know, they work great for me. I really like them. There is a bit of a learning curve in how to use them properly because they could look bad, but once you figure out how to use these right, I don't think there's anything better. Because I seen that Project Farm guy, he tested these and they lasted so long. And I've used them on my personal vehicles and I have gotten over 2 years out of these, and my trim is still standing strong after 2 years. But there is a bit of a learning curve in how to use these. So what you have to do to use these properly is you put it on and you only go about ahead 1 full wipe, and then you come back and you have to wipe it off. You have to knock it down with a clean, dry microfiber, and that reduces the splotchy look. If you just wipe it on with the cloth that's provided, it's gonna look splotchy. Or you have to come back and wipe it with the cloth that's provided. I've been playing around with that actually just once recently, and I think it works okay, but I'm used to using my microfiber to knock it down, and it works pretty good. So I don't know how likely I am to switch my technique up, but that is something that you could probably do, and I don't know if it works quite as well, but and here I am applying the tire dressing. So the tire dressing that I use when I do the high-end polishes is Gyeon ceramic tire dressing, and it looks like it's a pretty good product. I don't know, I bought a few bottles of it and I seen that it worked really good on one of my customers' vehicles because they came back and seen me like a couple months later and their tires still looked amazing, and I was impressed. I haven't used this product on my vehicles yet, but every time I do a polish I use it on a polishing customers' tires. And so far what I've been noticing is the more I use this product, the less I like it, because applying it is an absolute pain. If you watch here, you really have to scrub this product in
and it takes a while, and it's kind of thick, and you really got to work it in over and over to get it really good coverage on the tire, and it's a pain to install. Although it may be a good product, I'm not really sure, and I'm not even sure if I like the way it looks. Obviously, after I apply it like this, I knock it down with a dry microfiber, but so my technique for applying this is it takes me like 24 hours, or it takes me like 12 hours to apply this product. Like I apply it at the end of the day, and then I let it sit in the shop overnight and cure onto the tire, and then I wipe it off in the morning, knock it down with a microfiber, and it looks kind of okay. It looks pretty good, but the dressing that I use every day, the cheap, like I'm not gonna say cheap, but it's cheap to apply and it's super easy to apply. That stuff works so good, and it looks so good. It's so easy to apply and it looks so good. And that product is Meguiar's Hyper Dressing, and I use that on everything, like the interior plastics and the tires and all that. And it works so good on tires. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so it's all done. The 10-inch ceramic coating on here. It took a while. I just got it done. With all the little, extras, the tires, the door jambs, the glass on the inside. Did a little quick vacuum. Can't really see how shiny this thing is, unfortunately, because of the gray. But the trim looks way better for sure. It was all faded. The hardest part about this one was the trim. Since I said I was doing a 2-year trim restoration, comes with my higher end polishes, and this vehicle has a lot of trim. A lot. And I find trim to be hard to ceramic coat or restore, because you can't really get that product on the paint or anything. You almost see the tape the paint up. Anyway, there's the end. Hope you enjoy. I'll get some more pictures outside.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill,